Hello everyone, in this video I want to talk about VMware Lab8 standard switches. Here I list 3 objectives we need to finish in this lab. Firstly, view current standard switch configuration. Then, create a standard switch with virtual machine port groups. 3. Attach your virtual machine to a new virtual machine port group. Here I want to explain a little bit about what is standard switch and what is virtual machine port group. As for standard switch, we can create abstract network devices called standard switches. A standard switch can bridge traffic internally between virtual machines in the same port group and link to external networks. We can use standard switches to combine the bandwidth of multiple network adapters and balance communications traffic among them. As for virtual machine port groups aggregate multiple ports under a common configuration and provide a stable anchor point for virtual machines connecting to labeled networks. Each port group is identified by a network label, which is unique to the current host. Let's imagine that if we have a huge unconfigured virtual switch with hundreds of ports on it, and we don't want all of the ports to be configured the same way. We want some of them be used by product VMs, others used by developers VMs. It is common to create a port group for each VLAN and a network subnet that we want to present to VMs. Virtual machine port groups do not provide service or IP address. They are just ways to configure policy for a group of virtual ports on vSwitches. At the end of this video, I will also talk about a common problem we may meet. Let's start. I am already logged in VMware web client. We go to hosts and clusters. This one is my host, and go to manage tab, networking, virtual machine switches. Here we can see current virtual machine switches configuration. There are 2 switches now, vSwitch 0 and vSwitch 1. As for vSwitch 0, we can see it has 2 port groups. The first one called VM network and the second one called management network. In VM network, there is 1 virtual machine added to this port group, which is VM1. And this switch also linked to a physical adapter, which is VMNIC0. As for switch 1, it also has 2 port groups, which is production and IP storage. In production, there are several virtual machines attached to this port group, and it also linked to a physical adapter, which is VMNIC1. Now, so that's the current standard switch configuration. Now we should do task 2, create a standard switch with a virtual machine port group. We go back to the web client, click here to add a networking. Select this one. Now we need to create a new switch. Now we need to assign an adapter to this switch. VMNIC2 is available, so we choose this one. As for its network label, we type test. Go to next, and here we can see some configurations of it. This new standard switch called vSwitch2, and it is assigned to VMNIC2 adapter. It also has a port group which is test. We can see the new switch here. Now it just has a port group but no virtual machines assigned to it. So it's task 2. Then we go to task 3, attach a virtual machine to this port group. Now we plan to attach virtual machines called VM1 to the new switch we just created. As for its network adapter, we choose test, which we just created, and make sure the stator is connected at power on. Here we can see the network adapter is test but is not connected, so we need to power on this machine. Now it's connected. We can go back to virtual switches page to check the status. Here we can see as for switches 2, it has the test port group, and we already add this virtual machine which is VM1 to this port group. Now we finish task 3. And I want to talk about a common problem we may meet, which is no network adapter to add to the switch. When we create a new switch, we need to assign adapter to it. Here, there are no network adapters to add to the switch. As for this problem, we need to check how many physical adapters we allocated to this host. To check it, we need to go back to the first level virtual environment. Here, this virtual machine ESXi01 is my host, and we can see the network adapter here. There are 3 adapters. I already used all of them. If I need to create a new switch assigned to a new adapter, I should add 1 more adapter here. Then the problem can be solved. So that's all about this lab. Thank you for watching.